Welcome back, guys. Today we're sharing with you the best first piece of equipment you can buy for your home gym. So this is one of the major questions I've been asked on live streams, but also by people around here that came in, saw the gym, saw all the equipment around here, and they want a setup similar to this, but they don't know where to start. And honestly, I wish I would have started a little bit different than how I did. A lot of people, they'll go for dumbbells. Now, personally for me, I like the old school dumbbells, so this cost me an arm and a leg to be able to get the collection I've got now. But if I could restart and say, if I was trying to save money especially, I get adjustable dumbbells or concrete dumbbells where you can, slide in more weight and they're more adjustable. It's just a little bit more time consuming to adjust those. So I go for an adjustable set of dumbbells, whether it's concrete weights or it's already, by Bowflex or whatever the brand may be. By doing that, I probably saved a lot of money instead of going through this old school route, instead of getting pairs of dumbbells in 5-pound increments going up. I'm glad I did though, because this is the aesthetic and this is what I wanted. But if you're really just trying to save as much money as possible and make your money go as far as possible, that's what I really recommend going for, is those adjustable dumbbells. But the number one piece of equipment I think everyone should get for their home gym, whether they've already got dumbbells or not, or any equipment at all, is a power rack. And the reason why I think you should get a power rack first is not only for your safety, because you have safety bars, you can adjust various lengths for squat, for bench, and a lot of people that have home gyms are not going to have a spotter. So it's very dangerous, especially if you've got a bench like what we usually bench on back here without a spotter. Benching on one of these without any safety racks is very dangerous. And if you're not trying to spend a lot of money and, being able to buy an actual designated squat rack like what we got behind me over here in this corner, then I would recommend a power rack. And that's why, because you can do squat, you can do bench in them, and you can do them safely. And they're highly adjustable. So you can adjust these very easily. Now, to be able to bench and squat within this power rack and really utilize it, you are going to have to buy other equipment to fill out the power rack. But the power rack also prevents you from having to buy weight trees to set up your 45, 35, 25, whatever pound plates you have. It can hold that, especially when in the beginning you'll need somewhere to put that stuff besides just laying them up or leaning them up against the wall. And that's going to also increase the safety of it, because if they're leaned up against the wall, they could fall over on your toes, or slide down, make you trip on them, as you're walking around your shop or your gym set up, wherever it may be. And having that extra weight storage is very beneficial even for us here. But going back to the squat and bench, those compound movements, you're going to need a barbell. And so by conserving money, you can afford to get a good quality barbell, and then then buy a few pounds of plates here and there off Marketplace or Craigslist. I really recommend getting your plates secondhand as long as they're in good shape. And you can take a scale with you, make sure they're kind of calibrated, and you're not buying 45-pound plates and they're only weighing like actually 33 pounds or whatever. You could also, if you're really trying to save money, you could buy the barbell off Marketplace or Craigslist, which is what I did in high school. I didn't have a lot of money. And that's why I wound up getting one of our first bars that's now decommissioned because I afforded a better bar, but it's still here. And if one of our bars break, we got a backup. So there's nothing wrong with going the cheap route first and making sure you're not only going to be committed to the fitness aspect of it, but you're able to commit to the price point of having a home gym. Some people buy a couple of dumbbells here and there, realize how much it costs, and then they'll just pay the gym membership and they'll have a couple dumbbells at the house, laying around. And speaking of laying around, I recommend you hit up your family members, especially, the older members of your family that might have some of that equipment laying around. It might save you a few bucks here and there. If you're able to get a 10-pound pair of dumbbells from your, Uncle Timmy, and, your grandpa's got a pair of 20s, in his garage or somewhere that he can let you have or even borrow. And that way you can have them all in one spot, and it can save you not only time by having a home gym, but by having a home gym in the long run, I think it'll save you a lot of money. Because if you look at the average like $50 a month membership, after a full year of 12 months of paying that, you're paying $600 every year. And if you just pay a little over $1,000 one go round, you'll have as much as you would have in a commercial gym, and it's accessible to you at any time. You don't have to wait for certain equipment to be freed up because it's there for you. And so there's many benefits to having a home gym, and I'm sure a lot of you already know this, especially if you're on your path right now to creating yours. But the main thing about power racks is its versatility. You can do bench, you can do squat very easily in a power rack. It's very versatile, but it also allows you to put on a dip bar and be able to hit your triceps and lower shelf of your chest. And most of them have bars going across of them where you can easily do pull-ups and chin-ups to work your biceps and work your back. And so no, you're not going to have the cable machine, but you can really get jacked and you can get strong as hell by just having a power rack. And then the next thing I would do, honestly, is build me a deadlift platform and then go for dumbbells. If I had a power rack first, had a barbell, had some plates, then I would build a deadlift platform, make sure I'm not going to bust up the concrete in my shop, in my garage, wherever I'm at. And then that's when I go for the adjustable dumbbells. And that should all cost you right underneath $1,000, depending on how much weight you buy as far as plates and how adjustable your dumbbells are. And when you're looking for a good quality barbell, I recommend you get one that has some good knurling, because if you're going to be using it for deadlift, you don't want a slick bar, or else it's going to slip through your hands. If you're using straps, it don't really matter, but if you're a powerlifter, you can't use straps in competition. So be sure you buy a bar that has good knurling, and that way it's not going to slip out of your hands. It's also safer, in my opinion, and right now in this humid weather in Mississippi right now, I don't know if you guys tell on the camera because it was really fogging up when I got down here, but you might still be able to see a little bit of the moisture in this shop right now, and the floors are kind of damp. So that's another thing you got to consider. But these bars, these weights, that's why they're rusting. So it's better if you can have it kind of climate controlled or in a climate controlled area. That way your equipment will last you longer, but also just outside of that for safety. Because if you have a slick bar and it's a little bit wet, it's going to make it easier to slip out of your hand, especially if your hand gets wet. So, sometimes we'll just take a towel if it's really wet down here, and we'll just dry everything and dry around where we're going to be working, that way we're not slipping, and it just makes it a little bit safer for us. But that's why I believe the power rack should be your priority for your home gym. Just because this is versatility, you can do the compound movements such as your squat, your bench in it. You can do dips for your triceps, for your lower shelf, and you also do your chin-ups and your pull-ups to be able to target your biceps and your back. And when you have a barbell, even though you don't have any dumbbells, because we're prioritizing this over dumbbells right now, when you have a barbell and you have some weight, that's going to allow you to do those bicep movements, which those bicep curls, you can do skull crushers, whatever it may be. You can do that without a curl bar. You can do that without a dumbbell. You can do all those movements with a barbell. It's not going to be as comfortable. You're not going to isolate it as much as you would with a dumbbell, for your chest press or your incline. You're not going to be able to isolate it for your stabilizer muscles as much with a free weight, such as your dumbbell. But using a barbell is still free weight, so even though you're not getting as much range of motion as you will with a dumbbell, and it's not as stressful on your stabilizers as a dumbbell, you're going to be targeting that muscle group really well with that barbell. And there's plenty of other exercises you can do. You can do almost anything with a barbell, like I just said. But to be able to do some of these other exercises, you're going to need an adjustable bench. So that might also be an extra cost if it doesn't come with the power rack. Some power racks now come in bundles with adjustable benches, but I really recommend you get a quality bench. Even if it don't come with a bench, you need to get a quality bench. That way it's not going to snap on you mid-bench press, if you're benching heavy, and making sure it's definitely not going to snap on you when you're doing incline where it can jerk your shoulder back, because a low quality bench can really get you injured really quick. So if you want to cut corners, I recommend, your power rack. You can kind of go cheap on the power rack, but the bench and the barbell need to be high quality, and the weight plates you can go cheap on, especially if you're just trying to start out making your home gym. I hope this video is beneficial to you guys. If you guys got any questions down below, or if you think there's another piece of equipment that should come first, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear it. Hope you guys have a good morning, a good night whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next one.